SpaceX has filed for an IPO at a valuation of $2 trillion. To reach that number, it had to leapfrog the record-setting Saudi Aramco listing, which raised $29 billion at a $1.7 trillion valuation. For early backers, the math is staggering. Alphabet took a stake in 2015 for roughly $1 billion. Today, that 5% holding is positioned to return $100 billion to the corporate balance sheet. These wealth generation events are usually cordoned off. The standard venture capital structure uses the accredited investor system to lock the public out of the highest growth phases, keeping the equity behind a wall of high net worth requirements. Some retail traders have found a way around those walls. By using stablecoins on exchange platforms, they purchase synthetic tokens. These tokens are issued by firms holding real SpaceX equity, capturing the stock's economic performance before listing. A $2 trillion valuation prices SpaceX as a sovereign-scale architecture. It is a tiered value stack designed to support the entire global economy, starting from the launch pad and ending in the cloud. The first layer is delivery. By proving that orbital-class boosters can be landed and reused, SpaceX effectively monopolized the launch market and drove the cost of reaching space to a historic low. They are now doubling down with Starship. These flight tests are verifying a system designed to lift hundreds of tons at a time, aiming to slash the price per kilogram to a fraction of the current market rate. That delivery capability was a prerequisite for Layer 2, the Starlink constellation. With their own rockets, they could deploy an orbital internet service at a speed no competitor could match. The S1 filing shows the scale of adoption. In 12 months, the paid subscriber base doubled to 10.3 million users. Continuing this data, revenue follows the growth curve, generating over $11 billion last year, transitioning into a mature global utility. While $11 billion is significant, it doesn't account for a $26 trillion addressable market. To reach that valuation, the stack needs a third layer. On Earth, the AI revolution is hitting a hard physical limit. Training and running massive models requires so much continuous power and cooling that data centers are beginning to buckle local electrical grids. The proposed solution is to move these server farms entirely off-planet. By relocating computing infrastructure into low Earth orbit, companies can bypass the limitations of terrestrial power and land use. This comparison shows why the vacuum is an ideal environment for heavy compute. On the ground, you fight for every megawatt. In orbit, you have constant access to raw solar energy and a vacuum that functions as an infinite radiator for server heat. Google and Planet are already testing this through Project Suncatcher. They're researching how to operate data center-style systems in space to support artificial intelligence workloads without terrestrial interference. If the future of AI is orbital, the company that controls the delivery and the connectivity becomes the essential hardware provider. SpaceX is the only entity capable of building this data infrastructure at scale. This IPO is a bet that space is about to become the primary hardware layer for the next century of computing. Commercializing low Earth orbit is turning the space above our heads into crowded, high-traffic real estate. The physical footprint of this $2 trillion industry is becoming impossible to ignore. The cost of this expansion is visible right here. This cloud of over 1 million debris fragments is currently orbiting the planet, creating a permanent hazard for any active satellite or crewed mission. That overcrowding has forced a regulatory shift. Agencies are no longer viewing space as an infinite void, but as a resource that requires strict zoning and waste management. These new zoning laws have drastically shortened the lifespan of derelict hardware. The FCC recently dropped the allowable post-mission decay time from 25 years down to just 5. To protect the orbital economy, SpaceX must now build the systems required to clean it. They are pioneering the de-orbit technologies needed to safely decommission thousands of satellites as they reach their end of life. The IPO marks the moment our industrial base and legal oversight officially expanded off the planet. Humanity's critical infrastructure no longer ends at the atmosphere.